Tell me your name.
My name is Jessie.
So, Jessie, how did we wind up here?
Um, a lot of bumps in the road. I started experimenting alcohol at an early age. It wasn't until I had some doctors, I was about 15 or 16, and I got put on all kinds of medications. And one of them was a pain medication, and then they took it away, which is what normally happens. And they don't explain anything to you. And I was addicted. So it kind of start with prescription pills, buying them off of people. At that time, I'd lost my uncle. He overdosed to heroin. And I remember even saying, like, oh, well, I'll never do that because pills are so much different. And I really had that lie in my head that it was different until they got too expensive. And you realize that a $5 bag of dope is like, it's a better deal. So why not? And I don't know, the whole road, the best way to ever sum it up is really everything that you said would be a never became an absolute. And I did everything that I always said I would never do. And, I thought like having kids and stuff would make it better. And, it didn't. I had this beautiful baby and I was facing 15 years in prison. And I'm sitting there in a cell thinking to myself, like, I've had every rock bottom in the world and nothing has stopped. Like, I held a baby in my arms and it didn't stop me. And it was like, well, what is going to stop me? Like, am I going to have to die? Is that the only way? And I know everybody gave up on me and I gave up on myself. It's like being suicidal on an installment plan. You're too scared to do it, so you do it by using and just kind of like okay with like, if I don't wake up, it's fine. And I think everybody's like story of like when they got it, like when it clicked, it's always fascinating to me. I literally just looked at the ceiling in bed and was like, I'm done. Like I've gotten all these chances. I got out of jail. I didn't have to do 15 years. Like this is a miracle that not everybody gets. And I have it. And I was just tired finally. And I think that exhaustion, I walked myself into a clinic and I signed up for methadone. And a lot of people look down on maintenance medications. They think it's like another crutch or whatever. I am a chronic relapser. I am a chronic overdoser. So getting on maintenance was the only thing that gave me a big chunk of sobriety. And I got to see what it was really like and to like wash my brain, literally. And I'm still on maintenance now. And I've been sober 11 years, but it's kept me alive. So I try to explain that to people and have them understand that it's not a crutch. It's not this horrible thing. It's not an acceptance of addiction. It's what saved my life and it keeps me going. And
How
yeah.
did you wind up at Voices of Hope?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Sorry. I was actually I was having a really hard time with like my mental health and I went into a place to get a therapist and they set me up with this amazing lady and she would listen to me talk and talk about my recovery, all this stuff, and she was like, you should be a peer. I had no idea what a peer was. So she explained it to me. I put out some applications. I actually worked at a recovery house. I worked inpatient and then I heard about Voices, and what they do is what I envision a peer does. Like, this is what peers do. We're out in the communities. We're out giving out safe use supplies. We're doing all these things, coordinating treatment, all this wonderful stuff. And to me, that's what being a peer is. So they hired me, thank God, and they're never going to get rid of me.